Hi, I'm Eric.
Hello. Hello.
What's the best way to document your life without a camera? Before I tell you how I've been doing it, let's answer this question. Why would you want to document your life anyway? For me, it's three things: to share my past, remember it, and to learn from it. What was my job in the year 2003? And how much money was I making? Exactly how long did that job last? How many jobs did I have in my 20s? Who was my girlfriend when I was 18? And what exact date did we meet? And when did we start dating? And what year, month, and day did we break up? What was the addresses of every home I ever lived in? And how much was the mortgage or rent in each location? See, these are very specific details about our history. All of this information may not exist in videos or photos. How could we possibly recall all of this from our history? The strategy for me is the simplest. Introducing pen and paper. Obvious, right? This is the system I've been using to document my life since 1995. It's a simple timeline. Write down the year and start adding important dates. These should be important events, major accomplishments, and life-changing moments in time. Here are some things you'll always want to include in your timeline. Big purchases, house, car, Optimus Prime, your birthday, where were you, and who were you with? Holidays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Halloween, travel, vacations, conventions, concerts. Other things might be like jury duty, skydiving, meeting Ozzy Osbourne in an elevator. Remember to put in parentheses what people you were with. These memories will always escape your memory unless you write them down. And details like this will come in handy for years to come. There's one specific entry in my history that is notable. On January 2nd, 1997, I converted my timeline to a digital format, myhistory.txt. And 10 years after that, I uploaded it to the cloud so I could update and access it on any computer or phone, making it super easy to document my life forever. If you're just starting out this year, go back and try to fill in as many years as you can. You might as well do it now while you can still remember. My entire history fits on 8 pages, starting from the very first entry, being born. Yep, that was a momentous occasion. So I've been updating and referring to this list like most of my life, and it has always been a very handy thing to have. And while shooting this video, it occurred to me that I don't think I've really ever told anybody that I do this. I wonder what Darrell thinks about this, or maybe he already does this. I don't know. Maybe I can convince him to start. I don't know. Let's call him up. Hey, Darrell.
Hi, Eric.
So what do you think about this concept of just keeping a journal or a timeline so you can remember everything? Have you ever done that before? Do you do that?
I haven't, and I don't. Yeah, I'm not good with schedules and repetition, and I'm more of a wild ball of crazy. I do frequently have to write things down immediately if I want to remember them. But the great thing about that is once I've written it down, I don't have to look at that piece of paper anymore. It somehow stores it in here, whereas if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't remember.
Right.
But yeah, it sounds like a cool idea, but I know myself well enough to where I would forget, and then I'd be like, oh, I didn't do it yesterday. That means I have to do it for today and yesterday.
All right,
and then it just becomes homework, and then I get mad and I don't want to do it ever again.
Well, okay, that makes sense. I guess it's only a really cool concept if you do it, right? Obviously.
Right, exactly.
And like, I have my document open. It's like I can scroll down. You know, I could just do a search on here for the word Darrell, and you pop up 12 times. Well, let's see. We met in 1988 in 7th grade. Mostly it looks like, I moved in with you in January of 2001. It has the address and everything. Just like little things like that. Lots of birthdays it looks like we spent together. We took many Florida trips. One in 2010, and June 3rd to June 6th, we went to Destin. But like everything is in there, surgeries, parties, big purchases. You name it. Like anything that's like big and out of the ordinary, I'll put on there. And like the list actually came in pretty useful just recently when I got the mortgage for this house. And they're asking questions like, how long do you have this job? What were your previous 3 jobs, and how long? I was like, that's easy. I'll just go in my doc. Oh, here it is. And it's like, what was your salary? It's like, same doc. And then it's like, all these questions are all answered on this one document. I don't have to like search emails and all this crap. It's been way more useful than I thought it was in the early days when I first started it. I think it's a really cool thing, especially if somebody young does it. Like if you do it now, it's like, oof, it's still useful, but thinking back, like I had to go back and fill in. Right, you've missed a lot. Yeah. So if I ever come across something in an email or anything like that that's like a big moment, I'm like, I can't believe I didn't write that down. I'll write it down. So the past gets filled in slowly. But everything like after 1995 is pretty well documented.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. I tend to have a pretty good memory about events, major events, even some minor events, really. But then I know there are things I've forgotten. Because every once in a while, somebody will mention something and you're like, oh my God, I forgot that it even happened.
Yeah.
I think about this sometimes. There is so much of our lives that we experienced, we were there for, that are just gone because you don't have a memory of it. Right. I mean, most of your life. I mean, think of the minutia of day to day. It all doesn't get recorded or gets recorded over, however the brain works. The analogy of a tape machine. There's just too much information to store it all. But that's your life. And you're missing out on a lot of it.
Yeah, there's ways to hack the brain to force memories to be stored. It has to do with inciting like adrenaline or certain types of feelings. Like if you can incite fear or something like that during a moment, it's more likely that moment will be stored and you'll remember. You know what I mean? So, but that's weird, right? It is a hack. It's like,
yeah, if you wanted to remember something completely innocuous and then you remember it by threatening your life somehow, just to remember that. It's a bit extreme.
Right? It's like you're trying to remember this one concert when you're a kid. You're like, oh, I'll just stab myself.
Right, exactly.
I'll remember this one.
Oh, see that scar? Yeah, that was that concert I went to.
Yeah.
Was there like a fight or something? No, I just wanted to remember it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the concept. It's super simple, right? It's just like write down the stuff in your life. But I think the key is just the meaty moments, right? The good stuff gets recorded because those are really the things points that make you. Yeah. And you want to keep every entry real short because you don't want a big long pages and pages and paragraphs of like a wall of text to look through, because that would be like work, like
Though ironically, I actually think I knew this about you, that you did this, but I'd forgotten.
Oh, you didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down. Eric's keeping a list. You brought up an interesting point about it, that it's searchable. That aspect of it hadn't occurred to me before.
Right. Yeah. So I can search for June 9, which is my birthday. So I can just quickly go to every entry and see what I did on all my different birthdays, and see how many times I was at a bar, or every time I was at a bowling alley, or I don't know, for whatever reason. There's a lot of like restaurants, different places out of town, LA, I was in Vegas, I was in New Orleans once, Florida many times. Always like to go out of town for my birthday or do something special. So, but yeah, searchable is a good thing. All right, everybody, go and start one, or let us know in the comments, like if you already do this in some way. I can't be the only one who does this, so let me know, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.